Dear students, today we are going to discuss about the fundamentals of medium access control protocols, that is fundamentals of MAC protocols. Okay, so this medium access control protocol is a sublayer of data link layer. As we know, what are the different OSI layers? What are the different OSI layers? That we know that there are 7 layers from top to bottom. The first one is the physical layer, data link layer, network layer, transport layer, session layer, and presentation layer, application layer. Okay, so now we are discussing about the MAC layer. MAC layer is the sub layer of the data link layer. The second one, the sub layer of the data link layer, and the protocols of the MAC layer. What is the purpose of the MAC layer? Is to access the data packets in a fastest. Okay, so that is today we are discussing about the fundamentals of MAC session layers. Okay, and here we can see that this MAC layer is the sub layer of data link layer of OSI protocol. Just now I told you. And medium access control, that is MAC protocol, is explaining about to how it is situated. Okay, provide the mechanism to access shared communication medium between multiple communication terminals. Okay, so basically the MAC protocol is for to access the packets in a smooth way, in a fast. Okay, so how the connections are connected in between the terminals. Okay, here you can see that TX1 and TX2. Okay, that is a transaction, transmission and receiver end. This is the transceiver started here, and this is the receiver's end. How it is terminated, how it is located otherwise. Okay, there are two terminals here, TX1 and TX2. Okay, how it is transmitted from one place to the receiver's place to the second end, and it is the range it is given. Okay, TX1 and TX2, how the transmission of the packets are transmitting, how the packets are transmitting, that is within the ranges. Okay, here it is explained like this. And the fundamentals of MAC protocols are explained about two things, two things that are non-contention based and contention based. Okay, this today's topic is explains about two things that are non-contention based and contention based. And first of all, we will see what is contention based, and next we will see what is non-contention based. So actually we discussed about these topics in the last class also, but here we are, so the topics are going slowly into the subject. Getting my point? First unit is explaining about the overview of the subject, and second unit is going a little deeper than the first unit, that is about the definitions and properties and fundamentals. Okay, so like that, here it is the fundamentals of MAC protocols is explains about two things that are non-contention based and contention based. The first one is contention based, about explains about Aloha, pure Aloha, and slotted Aloha, and carrier sense medium access, CSMA. So here, what is meant by Aloha? Aloha is nothing but to say hi. There are the different statements are saying hi, like for the initial stage, at the middle of the stage, or at the end of the stage. Is it not? When you communicate, when you are meeting third person or any one person, so what can we say? That we can say hi. Okay, in the same way, when the networks are connected, okay, so the networks are communicating with Aloha, saying that it is saying hi, or also it is mentioning like bye. When you are communicating, the first time is saying Aloha, is saying hi, and when the connection is going to remove also, saying Aloha is saying bye. Okay, that is pure Aloha. What is slotted Aloha? slotted aloha is slotting, that is giving a time period to saying hi, giving a time period to saying hi. So what is the difference between pure aloha and slotted aloha? When the two ends are saying aloha, there is a chances of collision, is it not? There is a chances of collision. Means when we are talking, it is no problem. But it is communicating through the networks, there is a chances of collision. So that one by one you can say hi. That is known as the slotted aloha, giving a time period for saying hello. Okay. And carrier sense medium access is also a contention based, that is the transmission of packets. Okay. And non-contention based is explains about three things, that are FDMA, TDMA and CDMA. That is frequency division multiple access, time division multiple access and code division multiple access. There is only one small difference between these three are, it is when the packet is transmitting is based on frequency, is known as the frequency division multiple access. Okay, it is based on the frequency. What is frequency? That is the signals are transmitting with a range of frequency. Okay, so within that range the packet is transmitting. Okay, here time division multiple access is about, it is based on the time division. It is based on the giving time period, giving a time period for a particular packet for transmission. Okay, and here code division multiple access is, it is giving a code to every packet when it is transmitting. Okay, non-contention based is explains about three things, that are FDMA, TDMA and CDMA, that is frequency division multiple access, time division multiple access and code division multiple access. Okay, so here this fundamentals of MAC protocols is explains about two things, that are non-contention and contention. The contention, now we are going to see about contention based, about that is what is aloha, what is slotted aloha. Okay, so user who has data to send can transmit it immediately in pure aloha. Collisions between transmissions commonly happen. Why commonly happen in the transmission of data? Because at a certain, when human beings are talking, one talking, others can listen. Or there are 5 persons, they are talking, one talking, 4 can remain idle. So here in transmitting data is different. So they don't know when their connection is established, they not clear, they will not get an idea to who will start and who is not start. So like that collision happens, which can impair the transmitted, which can give a problem in the transmitted data, and more users impose more collisions. When the users are more, there is a chances of collisions more. Hence feedback mechanism is required. What is the feedback? It is communication established and one by one. Communication is established and one by one the transmission is going to take place. Okay, channel maximum useful channel time in long run is only 18% of transmission of data. That is, only 18% of transmission of data is possible in contention based. Okay, that is where the transmission of data is very slow compared to slotted aloha. Why it is? Because there is no time period given. There is at any time any end user can send the signals like that. To improve the performance of aloha, slotted aloha is proposed. Okay, so how it is going to give more performance than aloha? It will be double the transmission speed. That is, here it is 18% of transmission is there. In slotted aloha it is proposed to 36% like that. And transmitting radio should send at the beginning of time slot whenever they have data. Here the main reason is that giving time slot to the signals. When the time slot is given, so it is indicating that which one has to transmit and which one has to next and which one has to next. Slot for transmission avoid vulnerable to collision duration. Vulnerable is nothing but it is there is chances of danger zone of the transmission of the data. There is a in other words you can say there is a there is not a purpose at that moment of chances of sending the transmission. That is, slot for transmission avoid vulnerable to collision duration, and that period it is not good to send the transmission, that is, and doubles the performance of pure aloha. The statement is indicating that it makes the double performance than the pure aloha, that is slotted aloha. Okay, see, these are the differences between pure aloha and slotted aloha. Okay, so in aloha the time is continuous and not globally synchronized. It is not synchronized globally, and here it is synchronized globally. Okay, the slotted aloha, this time is discrete. Okay, time is discrete and globally it is synchronized. And vulnerable time for pure aloha, this is vulnerable time for pure aloha is 2 into tt. 2 into tt, that is, tt is nothing but transmission time. Okay, and vulnerable time for slotted aloha is only half of the time. Transmit time is half of the, that is pure aloha. In pure aloha, probability of successful transmission of data packet is equal to g into e to the power of minus 2g. That is the sequence it is giving. In slotted aloha, probability of success, that is the probability of success transmission of data packet is g into e to the power of minus g. That is, it is off, it is within the of the slotted aloha is making the performance, that is the double the performance of the pure aloha. In pure aloha, maximum efficiency is 18.4%. Just now we have seen. In slotted aloha, maximum efficiency is 36. It is double the performance of efficiency than the pure aloha to slotted aloha. Pure aloha doesn't reduces the number of collisions to half. What happens when the collision happens in aloha? So it will not make the collisions to minimize, and slotted aloha reduces the number of collisions to half and doubles the efficiency of pure aloha. Okay, so here in slotted aloha, that is the collisions also will be reduced, and at the same time efficiency will be doubled. Okay, then the pure aloha. You can see the diagram is illustrates how the aloha, pure aloha and slotted aloha are making the differences. Okay, you can see here the users 1, 2, 3, 4 in first one and second one. Okay, the transmission of data is transmitting from 1, 2, 3, 4 users. Okay, so 1 and 2 is transmitting, and this is third is vulnerable period. What is vulnerable period? It is no chances of transmitting data because there is a chance of collision happen. Okay, that is the drawback of the pure aloha. This is vulnerable period is, it is not the correct time to send the signals, packets. Okay, and this is user 4 is transmitting the signals. And here if you compare, here in a slotted aloha, user 1, 2, 3, 4 sequences is easily going, that is transmission of data is going easily, that is vulnerable period is only t, since each user only transmitted the beginning of slot. Okay, here receiver of user 2 and user 3 may drop the packet entirely, and because collision may damage the incoming packet. Okay, here user 3 cannot send the packet, and here the ending is also there is a chances of minimizing the packets. Okay, and the second one is the contention based carrier sense. In contention based carrier sense, it is explaining about the 4 types. That is, first one is carrier sense multiple access. Carrier sense multiple access. In most wireless networks, whereby internode distance is relatively close, the propagation time of signal is very small compared to frame transmission of time. Okay, so the propagation time of signal is very small when it compared to the frame transmission. Okay, and stations can immediately sense a nearby stations having transmission underway. When the transmission is going to start, before that there should be they connected with some code okay, they connected with some code, that is immediately will be connected, and then the transmission of data is started. Stations can immediately sense a nearby stations, immediately can connected nearby stations having transmission underway. The next, the transmission of data will be stopped. And here you can say non-persistent, one persistent, p persistent. What is non-persistent? Before transmitting the data, a transmitting stations listen to medium, okay, and before starting it listens a medium. That medium is establishing the connection. If medium is busy, the station will wait for an amount of time until it begins. Non-persistent is not okay, is it is establishing a connection. If it the station is busy, it will wait to get a connection. In one persistent CSMA, that is when medium is busy, the station will keep sensing the channel until it's free. So the signaling will be there only at the nearest station until unless it catch the signal. Until unless it catch the signal. Here in non-persistent, it has to send this re-signal. In P persistent CSMA, that is when the station sends ideal medium, it will do transmission when probability of P. Okay, when there is a probability of P, then only the transmission of process can start. This also means that even in the case of ideal medium, the station may not do transmission with probability of 1 minus P. That is, if channel is busy, it keeps sensing the channel until it becomes ideal. Until unless it is ideal, the nearby stations are trying to send the signals in P persistent. Okay. See, that is carrier sense multiple access and collision avoidance. Okay, collision detection. So its use is actually more relevant in wide network. In wide network, it is useful. Okay, we know that wide and wireless. In wide network, this CSMA collision detection is very much useful. In wireless media, there is no way to detect collision. There is no way to detect collision. The algorithm is as follows. So the different algorithms are used to find the signals. Round robin method and sequencing method. There are the different algorithms are used to find out the signals. If medium is ideal, then it transmits. If the medium is busy, continue to listen until the channel is ideal, then transmit immediately. It is like, just now we have seen persistent, non-persistent and like that. Okay, 1 minus persistent. Okay, if a collision is detected during transmission, transmit a brief jamming signal to assure that all stations know that there has been a collision and then sends transmission. Okay, there is a chance of collision and then it senses the transmission signals. So after transmitting the jamming signal, wait a random amount of time referred to as the backoff, then attempt to transmit again. What is the random of time? It is taking time to free the space, until unless to free the space, it takes some random amount of time. When then it is free of space, then again the transmission will be started. Okay, so this is used in IEEE standards. Okay, IEEE standards, that is 802.3, now .11, .16. There are many standards are using. The differences are between the IEEE standards or it is the accessing speed. Okay, and here in carrier sense, that is the mechanism is as follows. When the station sends ideal medium, it will wait for a random amount of time, just now seen, before transmitting. If within this contention window the station sends busy channel and it stops the counter and resume the counter whenever the station sends ideal channel. Until unless the sense ideal channel is free, it will be remaining to sending the signals. If the counter reaches 0 and it senses ideal channel, it can transmit immediately. So it will be assume that it will 1, 2, 3 going on. It depends on the transmission of data. If it is 3 means 3 transactions are going to take place. If it is 0, indicating that there are no transactions of transmission, then transmission will be started. Okay, if it sends busy channel, then the station will do back off by setting another random amount of time, that is counter of slots, using binary exponential strategy. Okay, however, it does not solve hidden node problems. Okay, however, there are the hidden node problems or will not be solved, and this is a request to transmit slot and continue to transmit slot exchanges can be applied in order to mitigate hidden node problem. Okay, it is requesting and continue requesting the signals. Here this diagram illustrates how the transmission is going to taking place. Here you can see there are 3 transmissions ABCA are transmitting, and frame transmission, medium sitting and waiting slot time. Here you can see the ABC transactions are taking place, and here it is the initial condition A transmit frame, and while it transmit and B and C senses the medium. B and C, the senses medium is nothing but it is the connection is established. This statement is indicating that it is establishing the connection. Okay, and here A transmit the data, and B and C sends the medium ideal and waiting for random waiting slot time. That is, note that B and C may have different number of slots. B and C may have the different number of slots, and B and C send the medium of ideal waiting for slot time. Okay, and B accomplishes its waiting time. B completes its waiting time and sends the medium ideal and start transmitting, and meanwhile C frees waiting and starts sensing medium. Where what happens here in C, it freezes. Okay, C freezes until waiting and starts sensing the medium. Okay, and C and A sense medium ideal, and A start waiting for a certain amount of slot time, and while C resumes waiting. Here it is ABC is transmitting the data, and it is freezing and taking time one by one like that, and C finishes waiting. However, it senses the medium busy, then it does back off and performs binary exponential back off for the next waiting time, and C and B sense medium ideal and counter their respective waiting slots. Then here trying to send the signals, and C frees waiting and sends the medium. So again, whatever the second time, this C freezes waiting and sends the medium, and C senses medium ideal and resume countdown its waiting slots. The countdown is going to minimize so that there is no transaction of the packets, and C accomplishes waiting and start transmitting immediately because medium is ideal. Because it is ideal, so the C is accomplishes the waiting stand, and it is continuing to the transaction. Okay, here you can see that the range of 3 stations. Okay, A, B, C, 3 stations requesting and continuing. Okay, and A cannot sense the carrier emitted by C and vice versa. This means A does not aware the presence of C and vice versa. However, B can hear both. Okay, so because B is nearby A and C, and A and C are distance, it is not because this is one end and C is one end, and B is communicating to AC, and A and C may not communicating directly. Okay, and A and C may need to send packet through B, and a collision could occur at B. Is it not? If A and C want to transmitting, so there is a chances of collision happens in B station. So here in B, the figure 2, to mitigate the problem, request to send and clear to send. Okay, here B is sending, it is coordinating A and C, and it is requesting to A and clear to send to C. Okay, it is both sides, both ends, it is communicating with requesting and clear the transactions transmits. Okay, and A does CSMA and sends and RTS to B, request to sending to B when channel is ideal. Meanwhile, D overhears or request to send from A and differs to allow clear to send. Okay, B replied with clear to send back to A. Meanwhile, C overhears and C, that is clear to send from B and differs to allow A, and A sends to B. A is sending transactions to transmits B. Okay, here also we can see that non-contention based, that is there are the 5 users, user 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it is explaining about the frequency of each user. Okay, each user is having the frequencies. Okay, each user is having a different frequency of transmission, so that the transmission of packets is going to take place. Okay, so here you can see the time division multiple access, and transmission time is divided into slots. Transmission time is divided into slots of frequency. The frequency is slots is divided here, and each user may be assigned a slot to transmit the frame. Okay, these are all the frequency of each user is transmitting through a slotted time. And similar idea to time division multiplex. The same idea is taking place in time division multiplex also. So in time division multiplex, a transmitter multiplex different channel into different time slot. While in this time division multiplex, and multi-transmitter will transmit within its respective time slot. That is, multi-transmitter will transmit within its respective time slot, either using single frequency or set of frequency. Either here frequencies are there, no, that is a single frequency of user can transmit, or a set of number of users can be transmitted with multi-transmitter. Okay, and here how the frequencies are transmitting, how the frequencies are transmitting through the time slot. Here you can see the time slots are given, and here frequency 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is given, and different time slots the transmission of this is transmitting. Okay. So frequency division multiple access is the idea of the frequency division multiplex. The frequencies are taking place here, and each user is assigned particular frequency or subchannel set of carriers to transmit. That is, here the user is transmitting with a fixed frequency. Okay, and the second and third different users are having the different frequencies, and similar idea to frequency division multiplexing. Okay, so in multiplexing, one user utilizes multi frequencies to transmit, while in multiple access and multi-user use their assigned frequencies. Multi-transmitter is using more than one user of transmitting the data, and frequency division multiplex is more relevant in physical layer, that is signal processing, while the frequency division multiple access is more relevant to the context of data in data link layer. Okay, so here also the same example is explaining in a different manner, that is how the frequency is transmitting user 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with a different frequency, and here CDMA code division multiple access, every frequency is giving a specific code and it is transmitting. Similar technique to direct sequence spread spectrum. While in code division multiplexing, a user uses a set of PN, that is pseudo noise. What is pseudo noise here? Pseudo noise is nothing but when the signals, the packets are transmitting, okay, and in avoidable situation, in the nature of the because of some nature of the inconvenience, a pseudo noise will be generated. And while in CDMA, in which multi-transmitter are involved, each transmitter would have unique PN bit stream. What happens? This is PN bit stream will be minimize the pseudo noise in CDMA. Will minimize the noise in CDMA, and these PNs are orthogonal to each other. These pseudo noises are orthogonal connected to each other in each other frequencies codes. Okay, to decode the code, receiver should have the same pseudo noise as the transmitter. When this pseudo noise minimizer is applicable, it should be from the sender and receiver both ends. So that what happens, the whatever the code is initiated from the sender, the same code has to be have the receiver send. The decode the code, receiver should have the same pseudo noise code should be have for transmitter. Okay, this is about the fundamentals of MAC protocols, and you go through this, and furthermore we can discuss if it is needed. Thank you.